Your information station, WTIM.
And welcome back to WTIM, your information station, in the midst of our second segment now of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. On the phone lines, we got Alicia Callison, the Director of Program Services over at the Macon County Conservation District. How are you today, Alicia?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks so much for coming in today. You said you've had a very busy summer so far this summer, and that's not too much of a surprise with everything you guys got going on over there. How has this summer been treating you guys over at the Macon County Conservation District?
Oh, it's great. We are knee-deep in summer camps and summer programs and all sorts of really fun stuff.
That is really, really awesome. And, of course, the summer concert series, we cannot forget about that. Have those been kicked off quite yet?
They have, yes.
Awesome.
So we have made it through 2 shows, and we've got 4 more to go.
I love it too. Okay, wow, we're going 4, or wow, that's 6 for the whole summer. That's quite a few shows there. What kind of bands? What kind of different? Before we go into that, what are the nights there? When do you have these planned out?
Sure. So they're every other Sunday throughout the summer. We have the next one coming up this Sunday, June 30th, at 7 o'clock at the Nature Center.
Awesome.
So every other Sunday after that.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. This Sunday then, a summer concert series out at the Macon County Conservation District. What times about should people start heading out there?
The show, it runs from 7 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
We do encourage you to bring a chair or a blanket to sit on. It's not traditional or anything like that. We are outside. So bring something comfy to sit on.
Perfect. Okay, that's really great advice for someone that's been out there. They've experienced the actual night. So 7 to 8, 1-hour show there. What kind of bands you guys have out to these? What kind of genres will we hear?
Yeah, so we have a variety of different, like Americana, bluegrass, folk, country, that kind of thing.
Sure. I love it, and that's perfect kind of for the scenery out there, the Macon there at the Rock Springs Nature Center. Is that kind of what you guys are going for there?
Yeah, yep. Something that's a little rustic.
Sure.
And yeah, lends itself nicely to an outdoor setting.
Absolutely. You guys have anything in the way of refreshments, drinks, snacks, anything like that?
We do. We have a small concession stand, nothing crazy, just some small snacks and beverages. But we do, yeah. Perfect.
All right. So these are Sundays at the Rock Springs Nature Center, and every Sunday from here on out for the rest of summer, pretty much there, Alicia, you were saying? Every Sunday from here on Sunday, that's the day for that.
Last Sunday is August 11th.
Okay, perfect. We're speaking right now with Alicia Callison, the Director of Program Services over at the Macon County Conservation District, and that's at Rock Springs Nature Center. That's open all weekend, and you can be hanging out at Rock Springs and just move your night into the summer concert series. Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. The Nature Center has hours all throughout the week, and the trails are open till sunset. So absolutely, you can come out and have some fun.
Yeah, make a whole day of it right there. Awesome. So the summer concert series, if people do want to learn a little bit more, website we can go to for that?
Yes, MaconCountyConservation.org.
Perfect. It's that easy there. So again, that's Alicia Callison. Moving on from the summer concert series, let's talk a little bit about another summer staple here, the Homestead Prairie Farm. Is that opened up for summer?
It has,
cool.
Yes.
Cool. All right. What can people expect when they go out there? This Homestead Prairie Farm. You guys do it there. You transform your back.
Yeah. So the homestead is set up to look like a circa 1860s homestead.
Cool.
For people who have maybe not been there before, Homestead Prairie Farm is at Rock Springs Nature Center, so it can still be part of your weekend.
Yeah.
And it is just a very small, modest farmhouse. A lot of the farmhouses or 1800s era houses that you see around here are mansions. They're stately. They're big, beautiful homes that someone wealthy lived in. And so this one is kind of the opposite side of that coin, where it is a very, very modest home. Would have been lived in by a family that didn't have very much money, that was farming, just to feed their family and keep those going. So you can tour that farmhouse. It's not a very big farmhouse, but we do have a garden there as well, which we plant with historic varieties of vegetables. And then all of the the veggies that we harvest get donated back to local food banks.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and it's just a really nice, really pretty spot there at Rock Springs that's kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
And people miss it all the time. So come out and see us. We're open at the farmhouse with tours every weekend through October. So 1 to 4 p.m. every weekend. You can come out and see one of our staff that'll be dressed in 1860s clothing.
Awesome.
Which is fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they'll give you a personal tour of the homestead and the grounds.
That is really awesome. You don't often hear about these homesteads, these era homesteads for the middle class, the middle to lower class. Usually they're very grand, like you said, very grand mansions that have been kept over the years. But it's cool to look at probably how the most of Americans lived back then. That's kind of what we're looking at: middle class, lower class house in the 1860s.
Yeah, lower class for
Sure.
sure.
Okay. Wow.
This was and we have we do have examples in Decatur of 1860s homes from wealthier citizens, the Milliken Homestead, the Governor Oglesby Mansion, which are also really wonderful, really interesting places that I encourage anyone to come and visit sometime. But I think it is interesting to see how just a regular family, how they lived and, what their homes might have looked like.
Absolutely. And then to boot, we got someone out there that'll be playing the time period as well. You said that person works with Macon County Conservation District, or how do you guys find the actor to do that?
Yes. So these are actually summer interns. So they're doing a variety of different things. But one of their responsibilities is working at the homestead on the weekends, and they wear their costume and they tell people all about the history of the area. So it's fun.
That's very cool to get your conservation career started with Macon County Conservation District. It's a very cool pathway to start with. I wonder if they knew that was going to be in their contract when they started. Is that something that they respond to well?
Yeah, we are upfront about that. Okay. Because the period clothing, I think, sometimes scares people.
Yeah. But, hey, by the way.
Right. But no, it's fun. Actually, when I started at the district, one of my responsibilities was doing that.
Wow.
And so I know firsthand that it is a really good experience.
Sure.
And it's people out there on the weekend.
Yeah.
So.
It sounds like it really brings it all together with of course, the grounds and the character actor out there. That is really cool. So it's open 1 to 4 on weekends until October. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Perfect. All right, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. weekends, the homestead, the Prairie Farms homestead out there at the Rock Springs Nature Center. Alicia, it's been a little bit since we've talked about a pretty sizable grant that headed to different conservation districts across Illinois. Macon County was one of them, and you guys had big plans for that money with a new center. Okay, take it away from me from here, but what has the development been like on that?
Oh, sure. So that was a grant that we received for work on an indoor-outdoor classroom at Rock Springs Nature Center. So the goal with that project will be to do some renovations in the building and convert some existing space in the building to a really nice usable classroom space. And then outside we'll have a nice outdoor classroom area with some seating and some neat landscaping features and things like that. So that project is still in its beginning phases. Cool. We are out for bid right now. So we're currently accepting bids from contractors and companies to get that started. And then once we have all of the bids, then we make a selection, we go to the board and get approval. And then construction can start. So we are very close to breaking ground on this project. I would say by the end of the summer, beginning of fall, we will have construction started. So we're very excited. Yeah. We've been doing a lot of work with the architects to come up with, details. What's it going to look like? Yeah. What kind of color scheme? What kind of rocks, that kind of thing. So it's been fun. It's a creative process right now. and we're really looking forward to getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. Very glad to hear that things are moving along well with that. And when it comes to the advancement of curriculum, it seems like you guys are going to just have so many more options with things to do with the kiddos out there. Did you feel that there was maybe some sort of a blockage, some sort of disconnect between moving things from classroom settings out into nature? You guys, you're kind of just avoiding that with these renovations.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like there is when you start out inside and then you're walking outside for a hike or something like that, and
Yeah.
you're moving through offices and you're moving through, parts of the building where it's a little less naturey maybe. This will be a nice way to bridge that gap, but it will just also open up our opportunity to do different programming. Encourage more sensory and interactive things with the programs that we do. So I think it's going to be really great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be so exciting to see that come to fruition here. We're talking to Alicia Callison, Director of Program Services at the Macon County Conservation District. Much more to talk about with Alicia. When we come back from this quick timeout, I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Your information station, WTIM. Radio gets results.
Miller Media Group Advertising works for Taylorville Estates. Here's Administrator Tony Clark.
In the past year, we have doubled our census. So that's been impacted mainly by the radio advertising. That is where we do the majority of our advertising. And our census definitely shows that it works. They lead us in the right direction for the season changing, and they anticipate our upcoming needs before we even have to tell them what they are. We've had consistent growth over the past 12 months. Like I said, we doubled in our census, and that's been the first time in 43 months since prior to COVID that we've gotten to where now we have a waiting list for people to come. So advertising on the radio really does have an impact.
The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation aims to foster, promote, and stimulate economic development, from keeping existing industry and retail businesses successful and thriving to attracting new investment in Shelby County. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business grow. It also sponsors job fairs to fill positions at existing employers and encourages future entrepreneurs in the Shelby County CEO program. Find out more on the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
I'm Jeff Grimmett, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Taylorville Junior High School Students of the Month on all of the WTIM platforms.
Hi, I'm Kinsley Heimsness, the 7th grade student of the month. My parents are Bradley and Jennifer Heimsness. School subjects I enjoy include math and ELA. This year at TJHS, I'm involved in basketball, volleyball, and softball. After high school, I'm considering nursing as a career. One fact about me is I have a twin brother named Bentley, and I'm looking forward to my vacation this year.
Congratulations to these students on this honor from People's Bank and Trust. We put people first every day at People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Shawla's Nagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. We're in the midst of our WTIM morning show with Alicia Callison, the Director of Program Services over at the Macon County Conservation District. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust. They put first and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. to live in that first we talked summer concert series the as a whole is open up on the weekends from 1 p.m. Talking big renovations for the Macon County Conservation District, which did another big thing that coming over, and this is just brought to us by the Conservation District grant writing. Alicia, what do you have to describe left for this?
Yeah, we just received $50,000 from the Heart of Illinois Community Foundation,
Wow.
which will go toward the purchase of a brand new Star Lab planetarium.
Wow.
And yeah, so for people who maybe don't know what that is, the Star Lab is a portable planetarium that you can take. We can take it to schools, we can take it to museums, we can take it to libraries, and you can fit a whole classroom of kids in there. And the idea is that it can be difficult for, a teacher in a traditional classroom to take their class out at night and talk about astronomy and teach about some of these concepts. So we're kind of bringing it to them with this planetarium. We can take it out during the day, get the kids in. It's got projections on the walls, and we can look at the stars, we can look at the constellations, we can talk about their stories, we can talk about, what it all means. And we're super excited to be able to bring the Star Lab back to our community.
Yeah.
We used to have access to one, we don't anymore. So this is really exciting for us, and we're really looking forward to getting this back into our program lineup. And getting more kiddos learning about and excited about astronomy.
Yeah, the Star Lab. I'm getting that right, Star Lab.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean that's perfect. It's almost like you guys needed that last part. Now you have everything with Rock Springs, with everything you need to help out, like you said, libraries, schools that don't have access to the type of things, and portable is something really perfect. Because you already kind of have opportunities to do programs with the stars, with the constellations. Haven't we talked about that in the past with Rock Springs and those programs?
Yep. We do frequently have evening programs that are astronomy related. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, that's just going to further that education even more, and this is really exciting. So you said that was pretty big grant funding right there. So do we have a timeline of when we can expect that to be out there?
Yes. So we should be making the purchase at the beginning of our next fiscal year, which starts in April.
Okay.
So hopefully by this time next year, we will have one ready to go and ready to start getting it out there.
Absolutely. We're very excited to see that get back out to the Macon County Conservation District and to see all the kids that are going to really enjoy that. So that's an inflatable planetarium. I mean, how many feet do you estimate that thing gets up to?
Oh,
Sure, we're diameter or something.
Yeah, I'm super familiar with the size constraints of this model. I did utilize the older Star Lab planetarium that we used to tour with.
Sure.
And that one, I want to say that one was maybe like a 10 to 12 foot clearance. And yeah, I mean, we could fit 30 kids in there.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was super fun. And I think presently I'm the only one on our staff that actually has done the Star Lab presentations before, so I cannot wait to teach my staff and get them excited about it too.
Sure. Gives us a better visualization with 30 kids in one room. I have a better idea of how big that planetarium can really be. I mean, that's perfect. It's a whole class of kids right there. So that is awesome. This is Alicia Callison, the Director of Program Services out at the Macon County Conservation District. Alicia, let's some program. You guys got a night hike coming up here soon?
We do. So we have a night hike coming up on July 20th.
Perfect.
That's a Saturday. It'll be at 9:00 out at Rock Springs.
Cool.
And this is a really good opportunity to come out and see the site after hours, which is something that not a lot of people get to do.
Yeah.
And we're going to walk along the bike trail, so it is a relatively even, flat surface.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some sensory activities. So we're going to test our eyesight. We're going to test our ears. We're going to see how kind of the lack of light plays tricks on us. And it tends to be a pretty fun hike.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. And this got to be a fun one there. With night hikes, you talked about the sensor. You talked about letting your eyes kind of shut off a little bit there and using your other senses there. You've said before, don't bring too many flashlights to the night hike.
Yes. So any sort of white light is going to just completely ruin our night vision.
Yeah.
So if you have to bring a light, or you feel more comfortable bringing a light, in case of an emergency situation, red light is okay. But we do encourage everyone to try and don't use any lights at all, and just kind of trust your guide to get you where you need to go safely. Because it's so funny too when you're walking back to the nature center and you start to see some of the lights on the building and some of the lights in the parking lot, and you feel blinded almost by how bright they are, because it's so dark out there and you just don't realize how you're adjusting.
Yeah. Putting the night hikers in a situation that they're not usually in, but it's going to be a really fun one to experience. Alicia, we are out of time, but thank you so much for getting us all clued into what's going on over at the Macon County Conservation District.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. That was Alicia Callahan, Director of Program Services out at the Macon County Conservation District. This has been the WTIM Morning Show.
Also allowing emergency abortions in Idaho for the time being. Now, this is a reversal that was foreshadowed by a prematurely released